Hi, and welcome to another one of my whisky reviews. Tonight is a little bit different. Recently, I attended the London Whisky Club tasting of Loch Lomond Whiskies, and in front of me are three of those whiskies that we tried recently at the club evening. I got a chance to bring them back with me and review them on camera for you, and tonight is going to be a little bit different. First off, I'm going to try each of the whiskies in three different videos, and I'm just going to nose and taste them and tell you about the whiskies. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you a bit about the distillery. So Loch Lomond Whiskies were originally producing on the site of Loch Lomond, the north of the loch, in 1814. But due to poor record keeping, that distillery closed down a long time ago, but nobody knows quite when. However, the current Loch Lomond distillery was founded in 1964 by the former owners of the Little Mill distillery, and the first distillation was back in 1966. However, in 1984, that distillery closed and it was reopened in 1987. Grain whisky production began in 1993, and at that time it was the only distillery in Scotland producing both malt and grain whiskies. It's also one of only 4 distilleries that has a cooperage on site. In front of me I have the single grain, the 12-year-old and the Inchmoan 1992. This video is for the 1992. Okay, so let's start by pouring a dram. This whisky is 48.6%. It's non-chill filtered, and it's 1992 vintage, which makes it 25 years old. So it's quite light in colour. It's interesting that it's not darker for its age, but it has been matured in American oak. It's had time in first fill bourbon, refill and recharged casks, and then obviously married together. And I'm guessing the reason for using a variety of different aged casks is to make sure that the time in the cask doesn't overly influence the taste of the whisky and overpower it. It's a peated whisky. You can instantly pick that up on the nose, but I do get fresh apple, maybe pear. The smoke isn't too strong on the nose. Do get a hint of vanilla, maybe with that apple, maybe apple strudel. And that smoke's starting to smell a bit more medicinal, but very light. Let's try it on the palate. It's quite sweet and light when it first hits the tongue, but that peat turns into a strong medicinal, very much like hospitals, but it is sweet and it's creamy. Yeah, I get a bit of buttery caramel, sort of almost like Werther's Originals. I get there's quite a cereal sort of taste on the finish now, and that peppery spiciness which I've had on all of the Loch Lomond whiskies is starting to build. As you take more and more sips, it lingers for longer and longer. This particular one, I'd say, has a medium long finish. And of the three I've reviewed, this is probably my favourite. It's quite a strong character to this whiskey. It's got a complexity on a few different levels. The more you drink it, the more you find different flavours, and the longer it lingers. So you have to take less and less sips, or longer time between each sip. It's definitely something to savour. It's also a whiskey that may be out of the price range for a lot of people. It's £200 plus, but it's definitely something I'd suggest people have a go. If it's available at a bar or a restaurant, then it's definitely worth a try. Yeah, it's really strong apples on the nose. It's got a lovely character to it, this one. And I love the way the creamy sweetness develops, the way the smoke lingers. It's a very nice whiskey. Slauncher. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.